Welcome back to another episode of the Trash Talk podcast. We are delayed by one day because of some scheduling issues. Also, I've been sick and I didn't want to record this early, so I'm doing slightly better now, at least at the moment. So we're getting this in, and this is out on Sundays, but that's all right because we're still keeping up the weekly tradition, and that way also the Sunday crossword is going to be much better timed in the halftime.
I literally just thought that when you actually said the word Sunday for the first time in this, because I hadn't thought of that until then. But yeah, Sunday crosswords.
It's not a permanent change. We're going to try to be back on Saturdays, but this week there was no other way to really.
I believe this is like the third or fourth podcast, like in total, that has been on a Sunday. So it's not unheard of.
It doesn't happen too much. We're going to revisit something today that I've been wanting to do for a while. A couple of months ago at this point, I had a quiz for JJ on the podcast, which was called Onion or Not the Onion. So basically, for those who don't know, The Onion is a news site that posts sarcastic fake news that sound almost real. So they'll have a news storyline, and if you don't know what The Onion is, you might actually believe that it's real, even though it's ridiculous. And we're going to compare it to the subreddit Not The Onion, which posts news storyline that if you know what The Onion is, you might think that they are from The Onion, but they're actually real news storylines. So you're getting what I'm saying here, right? I'm going to give you ridiculous news stories. You're going to tell me if they're real or not. And they might be, there might not be. Now, last time we did this, JJ, you did amazing at this quiz. Like you got like 90% or something. You almost always got the correct ones correct, and the fake ones you called out.
Yeah,
which
after
you said it
after
was
the first 2 or 3 ones, I seem to have like kind of gotten into the groove of how they work and gotten most of them. Yeah.
So I've got both theonion.com as well as Not The Onion, the subreddit open right now. And I'm going to read to you news headlines. And basically, if you want to, I can actually, what I was going to do is as like a Joker sort of thing. You can do this like 3 times through the game. I can actually read to you like the sub headline, the little description that comes with the article, you know?
Yes.
With some more details if you're not sure.
Yeah.
So we can do that.
You really like your Joker slightly, huh?
I do, yeah. I've been told it's the way to spice up a quiz, so that's what we're doing. Doubt that you're gonna need them because you've gotten all those right, but let's try this anyway. So Stephen King is sorry you feel like you're stuck in a Stephen King novel.
Oh boy, we're starting off good with this one. I'm gonna say real.
So it's real, so it's from Not The Onion, is what you're saying.
Yes.
That's correct, it is. But that felt like it also could be false, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I was mostly worried about is if King would actually say it, because people have said the other part of it before.
Yeah.
And of course, if King were to say like, oh yeah, I'm sorry that you feel like you're in one of my novels, then obviously someone would report on it. So.
Fair enough. U.S. citizen in Lebanon decline repatriation offer, saying it's safer in Beirut.
I mean, that must be real, right? That seems very real.
It is real, and the thing is, it's also true.
Which is why I thought it was real, yeah.
Yeah.
Although sometimes the Onion ones honestly are truer than the Not The Onion ones because of how accurate they sometimes are.
Exactly. All right, let's go with, let's see. Mafia distributes food to Italy's struggling residents.
That sounds very true.
That is true. Wow, I thought I'd get you with that.
Traditionally, the Mafia was very community conscious. I'm not sure if that's as much the case lately, but yeah.
That is true. Actually true. So 3 for 3 at this point. Black man shot by police after matching the description for COVID-19.
Well, that must be The Onion, right?
Doesn't have to be The Onion. It is The Onion, yes. How do you know this so easy? Like with all 4 of those, I would have been like, I have no clue. I gotta guess.
Maybe that's just my secret talent. Yours is the one with like names and faces, and mine is just knowing if it's The Onion or not. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it seems like it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Man caught with a rucksack of cannabis tells the police, "I'm buying in bulk due to lockdown."
Sorry, what was the quantifier before marijuana?
a rucksack. That is a
rucksack.
bag.
Oh, that was the container. Yeah, I just
Yes.
didn't quite acoustically get that.
I'm buying in bulk due to lockdown.
I'm gonna say true.
It is true. Yes, it happened. That sounds like an Onion headline, right?
That sounds like okay. The real question is, did it happen in Florida? I mean, that's just
Maybe, I don't know.
It doesn't really matter. But no, I mean the thing is that criminals say stuff like that, right? So, and then it's just that sounds like a Florida man story, honestly.
I've had a pretty good Florida man story. I saw one recently. I'm not sure if I sent it to Smoke. Usually, whenever I see a Florida man story, I screen cap it and I send it to Smokey, because he can then use it on his next podcast.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Damning reports find that White House ignored skeletal horseman galloping through the sky as early as January.
The Onion.
Yeah, okay, that one seemed like it is the Onion. I feel like that was obvious, right?
Yeah, it seemed pretty.
That was probably the easiest one so far. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find some good ones. This
because
one
like that one would have either had to be the Onion or some like conspiracy theory, like not like a reputable newspaper.
Yeah. Though that would have been really cool. All right. Animal Crossing, New Horizons developers confirm no one can hurt you here, no one can make you scared.
I mean, the game is very trendy right now, but that sounds like an Onion headline, honestly.
It is an Onion headline. Like, why? Okay, give me the difference between this one and the other sort of statement headline I gave you with the criminal with the police. Like, both of those seem ridiculous to come from, like, in that situation to actually be said.
But a criminal is more likely to say something weird than, like, a game developer for a rather popular game. I mean, they might say something weird, but this seemed almost ominous in its tone. It just didn't seem like something that they would say. I don't know. I can't really describe it better. It's literally just, like, intuitively, in this case, like, the statement one's literally just, like, can I imagine the person saying it?
All right, it's a gift.
It might also sometimes just be subtle wording that I don't even necessarily consciously pick up on, but maybe subconsciously. I don't know. But
okay, see if you can see this one being said. Wanted urgently. People who know half-century-old computer language so states can process unemployment claims.
That must be real. That's just how IT works sometimes.
It is real. I thought so. Yeah, your pessimism as a computer person probably drives you to believe that has.
Because I know for a fact that I've heard stories about like companies employing like incredibly old programs that have been like patched every now and again, and like no one has actually like really looked at the source code in like a couple decades, and it's like written in a programming language that isn't used anymore, and they have some macros in there that don't make any sense. Like, and then like someone has to, all of a sudden something doesn't work and someone has to actually like perform maintenance on it, and it's just horrible. Yeah, that happens.
Alright. Woman dies of coronavirus after claiming you don't need hand sanitizer, you need faith and guns.
The thing is, right? It sounds almost in its wording like an Onion headline, but it's also something that definitely happened. The question is just if there was a news report about it. I'm gonna say the Onion. It
is the Onion. Got it. That really sounded like something that would go down in real life, though.
I mean, I'm sure someone has said something very similar. The question is just if someone reported on it.
I mean, something that probably happened when they were like, I got one hand on my rifle, the other on the Bible. I'm more than protected from these viruses, right? There are probably people who think like that.
I mean, especially the one part that definitely made it a little more Onion for me was the gun part, because while there's definitely a lot of gun nuts out there, and especially conservatives, of course, stereotypically would both be gun nuts and Christians, but saying that the gun would protect them from the virus doesn't really make sense.
The gun protects them from the anarchy that ensues. the gun protects them from the anarchy that ensues once the virus is going crazy. Maybe, I don't know. Olympic torch bearer has been jogging in place on a street corner for 2 weeks.
I'm gonna say The Onion, though I'm not sure, honestly.
It is The Onion. It is The Onion. You know, it makes so much sense. Like, he can't travel around, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they did say something about, like, oh yeah, the Olympic Games have been moved, but something about the torch was on the news at one point. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I don't remember. I honestly didn't care.
God. All right. I'm gonna need to find something better here. Let's check this.
I just for some reason happen to be really good at this. I don't know. By the way, let us know in the comments if like you are also as good at this, or if you have like no clue. Just let us know your percentages or whatever.
Guess along and see. Okay. KitchenAid introduces new high-speed countertop chicken decapitator. There's even a picture. It looks like a mixer with a razor, with a razor attached to the top.
I want to say onion, but you know what? You gave me the Jokers. I'm going to use one of those.
All right, let me open up the article, and I'm gonna. In response to consumer complaints regarding other methods deemed by many to be too clumsy, messy, and slow for daily use, executives at the KitchenAid home appliance company announced Friday a new high-speed countertop chicken decapitator. The Heads Gun unit has a tempered spinning blade inside its stainless steel housing and a 5-horsepower electric motor, so it can decapitate chicken after chicken after chicken without overheating or burning out. Say KitchenAid spokesperson Danielle Robertson.
That sounds very much like an Onion article. I'm going to
later adding that the compact appliance takes up minimal space and would fit easily alongside blenders and toaster ovens.
Onion.
Yes, it is The Onion. I knew I would have known it was The Onion once the machine was called Heads Off or whatever it was.
That was one that was a very strong inclination. Also, one very subtle thing that I think doesn't sound like a regular newspaper, at least, although some other online publications might be different, is that they mentioned they released it on Friday. Most like proper newspapers, like if you had like The Times or something, they would say. The date, probably, very likely. Friday the 10th or something. I think.
Yeah, or it's like very local. Or it's like very local, I guess, but yeah.
And also,
Lego unveils.
The consumer complaints about the messiness of the other methods and stuff always sound a little sketcy, but heads off, oh no, this is very much The Onion.
Alright. How about this? Lego unveils 20,000 piece ventilators set up to aid supply shortage.
The Onion.
It is The Onion. All right. I mean, Tesla, they've been on to building ventilators. Why couldn't have Lego? I don't know.
Well, because the method of building a ventilator would just be too complicated and convoluted. It sounded too implausible. Which I know, sometimes it's like, if it's too implausible, it's The Onion. If it's too plausible, it's probably also The Onion.
Canadians bite back at loneliness of isolation by howling at the moon.
God damn it! I'm gonna use another joke.
Alright, let me open the article. People are screaming at the sky every night, and the wolf pack is glowing. Every night as the moon crosses over the river valley, Emma Kate La Rochelle takes a few steps outside her front door and screeches into the sky. I have gone out every night and howled, La Rochelle said. I have gone out with my roommates. The last 2 days, I've heard people howling back. There is a new movement afoot to encourage people to emerge from their homes at 8 p.m. and howl at the moon. It means the wild screeches you hear at nightfall might not be a pack of prowling coyotes nearby, but just your human neighbors.
I'm more inclined than before to say that this is The Onion.
It's not The Onion. It's real. It's cbc.ca.
Wow.
It's real. Canadians are doing this right now.
That is, I mean, that is very weird. Yeah. Also,
Yes.
the movement that encourages it sounded a little oniony, but also using a name, of course, in the report does seem a little legit. Although I believe I've seen the Onion do it as well.
Yeah.
But
it felt like it was wrong.
Yeah, and also what surprised me a little bit is the time. They said 8 p.m. I mean, to be fair, very different place, but around here, we started already getting the sun to stay out a little later. It's already getting dark, probably around like 9-ish.
Yeah, but that might be more northern or something.
I mean, parts of Canada are more northern, but like the Toronto area, for example, is south, actually south from where we are. Interestingly enough, as a matter of fact, I believe we mentioned this before.
Yes.
Interestingly enough, Toronto is further south than the southernmost point in Germany.
Correct, which is incredible.
You wouldn't think so, but it is.
No, you wouldn't. But that's how big Canada is. Must see 10 amazing, totally WTF brick photos.
That sounds like what are they called?
The thumbnail is actually a picture of a brick, so I'm assuming that's what it is actually about.
It sounds like BuzzFeed. That's what it sounds like. I'm gonna say real.
Yeah, it's the Onion.
Okay,
it's from the Onion. It's I'm gonna click it though and see if they actually provide 10 pictures.
I mean, to be fair, it is very boring, but honestly, I could see some like BuzzFeed-esque site actually writing something like that
about bricks.
You never know.
It was for medical reasons, says doctor to Boris Johnson, explaining why they had to give him a haircut.
The Onion.
It is the Onion. If you don't know, Boris Johnson has like basically Trump hair. He's like the same sort of
yes.
Sort of hair.
I believe his only medical issue right now is that he actually caught the virus.
Yes.
But that, as far as I'm aware, wouldn't necessitate anything about a haircut. So.
No, but his haircut is terrible. So
Yeah, no, but I'm saying the headline that one was a plausibility thing. I wouldn't know anything where he would have had another medical issue where that could have happened, and I would have probably heard about it somewhere.
Man fined for 240-mile round trip to, quote, buy bread.
What was the quote?
He was fined for a 240-mile trip to buy bread.
Oh, okay.
He said he was going to buy bread.
Yeah, I just the buy bread part didn't get there quickly. I'm gonna say real.
It is real. It did happen.
It sounds plausible. Okay, it's a dumb excuse, but it's like an excuse someone would make.
It is. I got a Florida one. Let's do the Florida one. Florida County is reminding people to maintain a distance of at least one alligator between each other.
Wait, you said a county in Florida?
Florida County, yes.
I'm gonna say true.
It is true. Yeah.
Like, if you had said like Florida as like a state, said that's like no, that's like too high a level of government to be not that serious. But like smaller areas sometimes do that. Like you're gonna constantly get like mayors saying funny shit like that in like public statements because it's just whatever, right? So county isn't necessarily that huge.
There's individual counties that literally have dog mayors. And
exactly. So it's like, why wouldn't they release that in the statement?
All right, 2 more. All right.
Yes.
And then we'll hop into the fact. James Harden pledges $10 million bills, so that's 10 ones, 10 million George Washingtons, to keep nation's strip clubs afloat during pandemic.
I'm gonna say the Onion, but it almost sounds plausible.
It is the Onion, and yes, it does almost sound plausible. Last one. Taiwanese baseball team will use dressed up robots instead of fans when the season begins this weekend.
The Onion.
It's real.
Oh,
it's real.
Boy.
Yeah. This is in Taiwan and it's happening. Source is 12up.com, which I haven't heard of, but I mean, yeah, it's real. Seriously, yeah. It says robot mannequins. They'll do it.
I just thought of the logistics. I just thought it was too much of a logistical issue to actually do it, but
I mean, yeah, that's what I thought too. But apparently, it actually is real. So they're doing
what? I got 2 wrong, I think.
Three.
Okay.
This last one was the third one, but I asked like 15 questions, so you got, but the vast majority are right again.
I'm not exactly mad about it.
We have to try this the other way around sometime, and see if I can actually do it also.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, maybe we'll do it next week. Who knows?
Yeah, we might. All right,
I'm not gonna guarantee facts. That though. Yes, we do have
we're
facts.
Not guaranteeing anything. But we have facts that is guaranteed. JJ, what is your fact of this week?
My fact of the week is about a biological concept that, while if you think about it, not that mind-blowing, I didn't really think about before, and it's kind of cool.
Is it photosynthesis?
No, it is hybrid specification, which, by the way, specification is a nice word. But...
Is it spelled exactly like specification? Or is it IE?
Oh, sorry, it's sorry, not specification. I read that wrong. Sorry, it's hybrid speciation. Sorry, that's actually even cooler of a word, though.
Yes.
Speciation. The concept is very simple, right? Like, a hybrid of 2 species will get a population that is large enough that they end up interbreeding with each other and create a self-sustained species.
Right.
That is a thing that actually happens, which in and of itself isn't hugely surprising, since we know that hybrids are possible, and thereby it makes sense that it could happen. But first of all, I thought it was cool that's possible, mules, right? And that even happens in rather complex creatures like animals and mammals as well, as a specific animal category.
Yeah.
One rather significant example is the eastern coyote, which is a cross between a wolf and a coyote that has its own population these days, and presumably also the red wolf, although that hasn't been proven exactly, which is also a gray wolf and coyote hybrid. Also happens in butterflies and plants all the time, but that's like...
Isn't the mule also just a cross between a horse and a donkey?
Yes, but male mules are always sterile, and female mules are only very rarely give birth. So
the mule itself, the mules themselves can't procreate between each other.
Exactly. So there would never be a hybrid speciation because they can't literally cross. So that is why it's actually not that common. It's actually rather rare because oftentimes hybrids are sterile because genes aren't perfectly compatible.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't have a significant lifespan. So you basically the way the situation for this to happen has to almost be that not only are the hybrids fertile and common, but they also have to have some evolutionary advantage, obviously, over their parent species because they're very likely competing with them for resources.
Right.
So it's not hugely common, but it happens.
Specifically in nature, it's like without human interference. That's true. Seems very uncommon, but that is interesting. It's not photosynthesis, unfortunately. That's my favorite biological process by far.
I just again, it's like it's not exactly far-fetched that this can happen. I just thought when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a thing. That's cool. So I thought I wanted to share that.
That is a very good fact. That might be a little better in my fact even, but I don't know. There is currently a 104-year-old man in Oregon, United States, who is at this point the only known person to have been infected with and survived both the Spanish flu and COVID-19.
Okay. That is, that's kind of like that one guy who survived both of the atomic bombs being dropped in Japan.
Oh yeah, about that. This guy also went to and survived World War II. As a bonus.
Well, I mean, it's not that surprising. Although I guess, as an American, it's a little more surprising. But because he was obviously of a serviceable age around the time.
Yeah. He was a soldier. Also, the Spanish flu, as far as I'm aware, is not from Spain. But that's a different discussion.
Well, naming of that sort of stuff is always a little iffy.
It's called the Spanish flu because the Spanish popular news outlets were the only ones that really reported on it early on, while the rest of the world kind of tried to shove it on the carpet. I believe the outbreak was traced to a farm in Kansas or something like that.
Okay.
But yes, that's a fact. So that guy is pretty good. Let's hop into the halftime show.
Let's
see what we
do
have.
the halftime show. Let me quickly switch over. Oh, by the way, as a side note, I should have said this in the beginning. The bars over and below Alex's face are because of a Discord update which breaks the full screen mode. I don't like it. Just when I was looking at the scene to change it, I remembered that.
We'll try to fix it eventually if we can, but if we can't,
yeah. So we did What's Up, Doc. So now is Pay Your Bill.
Let's pay our bills.
So let's see. Can you see everything? Yes, you can. Actually,
I can
go a little higher.
Yeah,
it should still work. And play timed, obviously. Help. It might be SOS. No, it's not.
Aid?
Oh, that could be, yeah, right. I thought of that as an exclamation. Universal Hotshot. I think UNIF stands for Universal.
Yeah.
Reiner or
University.
Oh, it could be University Hotshot.
What's University Hotshot? BMOC? The big man on campus?
BMOC. Wow. I did not know that. I've never heard that before. Reiner or Jastrzemski?
John.
Probably not, but... Whoops, that's not even... But,
Bill.
Oh, wait, no, it's not highlighted, though. But, I mean, we should probably do the others first.
Yeah, maybe.
Arya in real life.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is in not real life.
It might be a Game of Thrones thing. There's a character called Arya Stark who's played by Maisie Williams. I think that's how you spell it. But I don't know.
Well, wait, the first name Maisie is spelled M-A-I, if that's what you're going with.
M-A-I?
S-I-E.
S-I-E. Yeah, that is it. Yeah. So, my bad.
Knew it all along.
NBC rival is ABC. Muslim leader is the Imam. Explorer of kids TV shows Dora.
Yeah.
And former president is Bill Clinton.
And it's Carl, actually. All right.
So it's Bill's. There is Microsoft co-founder.
Cool.
Is Bill Gates. And
let's do all the bills first. Let's just check if we know any of the bills by heart.
Twister and Apollo 13 actor.
That's yours.
Is it Bill Murray? I don't know. Was he in those? No. It's the only actor bill that came to mind. I don't know who is in those two movies particularly.
What's the other ones?
Celtics great probably.
Bill Russell.
What, Russell?
Russell.
L. And we have Caddyshack comedian.
Is that Bill Murray?
That is Bill Murray. Oh, we have another.
There's also another one in the bottom.
Infamous comedian and TV star.
Oh, Cosby.
Oh, great. Cosby.
Yeah, Bill Cosby.
There we go.
Easy.
So we only need one more bill.
Need one more bill.
Until then, Turkish
I like that we
title.
figured the pattern out early. That's good.
I mean, I figured it was that before we even started it as a guess, but I wasn't sure. Turkish title. Buffalo wing coating.
Sauce?
It is sauce. Power source. I don't know specifically in this case. To lend a hand.
Assist.
Shade. 3 letters in the middle is a U.
The Turkish title is Aga or whatever it's pronounced. H-A.
H-A, okay.
H-A.
Sorry, H-A. I wrote A-H. Aga, whatever. Shade is hue. I thought shade is in shadow at first. Obamacare acronym.
What was it? ACA, right?
I don't know. It apparently is.
Steam could be the power source.
Is steep? What, steep you said? What?
Steam.
Steam. Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, what? Kingdom is empire.
Empire.
And then I guess let's do this across one. Capone's nemesis is Ness, Elliot Ness. Group of 7. Is it a septet? Is that what they want?
Yeah.
Great. A Great Lake. Great Lake, 5 letters.
Yeah, Huron. Huron, Huron.
All right. Persia today is Iran, I believe?
Iran.
Silent... What is it? Ascent? What? Ascent? What? I don't know what the word is actually. A-S-S-E-N-T.
Ascent. Let's do the downward ones.
Leg part is the shin. Continental currency is the euro. The devil's label is... What? The devil's label. P-R-A blank blank.
Is the silent set a nod?
Okay, yes, it is. Prad... What is the devil's label? Prayed something.
I don't know. Can we get the across one?
The across one is unprincipled.
Unprincipled.
Probably I, right? Then no, that doesn't make sense.
No, A.
Something. M.
A.
M something. Okay.
A something. Yeah. Product.
Okay, that makes sense.
A something. Is it amoral?
Whoops, that was not an L. There we go. It is amoral. Yes. I guess let's do the down ones here then. Zilch is 0. Wait, it's not 0. It's something like that though.
None.
Trying experience is an ordeal, I suppose.
Huh.
Chocolate source is cocoa. But that's not exactly it, is it? Cacao? Cacao, okay.
C-A, yeah.
Yeah.
A-O.
Fuck. Yeah, I pressed left instead of down accidentally, that's why.
Name of the tree.
Yes.
Or the fruit.
Bottom line. Stimulate. We should probably do the cross ones, huh?
Maybe, yeah. Let's try that.
Group of witches is a coven. Dined is 8. And blank do, not possible, 2 words.
No can do.
Oh, no can do, yes.
Yeah.
Bottom line is a total.
Total.
And stimulate is... I still don't know, actually.
Let's do a cross. Let's keep with the cross ones.
Capital of Albania.
Tirana. Tirana. T-I-N-A. Yeah.
So...
Liven? As in liven up?
Yes. VIP vehicle is a limo. Yemen neighbor is Oman.
Oman.
Bill, I still don't exactly know. That's not exactly important. Spud.
Like a potato?
What?
Potato?
Potato? Yes, it is. So it's something ton, which I almost figured with un.
Yeah.
Other in Spain.
Otra. Yeah.
Okay.
Otra, yeah.
Coup de... It's
coup d'etat, yeah.
Because it could be grass, so... coup de grace.
Yeah.
So, sandwich spread.
An Oreo isn't like... I mean, there is Oreo spread, I know that.
But that's...
But it's probably not
I
that.
doubted that it was that. We can probably do the cross ones first. Maybe we know it then.
Alright.
Keats' work.
Poems. Poem.
Lead in to boy or girl. Ada. There we go.
Okay. Mayo. Mayo is a spread. The sandwich spread is mayo.
Oh, mayo. Honestly, mayonnaise came to mind, but I was like, oh, that's way too long.
Is it Bill Parton or something?
No.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Inside information is...
X-Ray, and it's Bill Paxton.
Oh, it's Paxton. I still don't know him, but fair enough.
I don't know it either.
Humiliate, something with an A. It's not a shame that's too long, isn't it?
No.
Nocturnal mammal would be a bat.
Bat.
Dermatologist's concern.
Rash.
What did you say? Oh, rash.
Rash.
Calvin and Hobbes' girl.
I don't know Calvin and Hobbes enough. Damn it.
Oh, I thought you were one for classic comic strips.
Listen, it's all about Garfield, all right?
Swagger.
At least I know that they're a kid and a tiger.
I did know that as well. It's actually a toy tiger, but it's usually depicted as a real, anthropomorphized.
But he's like twice as tall as the kid. Like, he's huge.
Well, but there are panels of him just holding the little toy tiger. It's in his head.
Oh, fair enough.
Humiliate is something a bash. It's not a bash, is it? No, it doesn't make any sense.
A bash?
That is actually what? I mean, I knew it was a word. It doesn't make sense. Largest continent is Asia, and those people are
they.
Yeah.
Or them.
It's they actually. Calvin Hobbes' girl is Susie. That makes sense. Swagger is
sachet.
I did not know that. Use foul language as cuss. Let's do these first. Loose sleepover. To lose sleepover, probably.
No clue.
Not quite right. Is it no, a skew doesn't fit. Leave alone 2 words. Let be.
Let be.
Knuckleballer Wilhelm.
Oh, Hoyt.
What?
Hoyt. Ho.
Why am I really bad at listening to my own spell? So is meh. Simpson Judge. What is it? Not quite right. Is it a miss? So it's Ito.
Judge Ito? Is that a thing?
What?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Judge Ito then? Right.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I already had a miss, so that...
right.
Group within a group is a subset. Backtalk is sass. Loose sleepover is obsess, then.
Obsess.
And I'm going to do that corner first. Burden is... Burden with an L, 4 letters. I already see one that I know, but I'm going to do that later once we get there.
All right.
Unaccompanied is it lone? Yes,
lone.
It is. And fresh is new? Yes, it is.
New.
And then we have before long is soon. Rational is sane. And morning moisture is dew, which means that the thing was load.
Oh, makes sense.
And it was low. So there we have...
Oh my god, we got 7 minutes.
Goal
Easy.
is degree. Copycat... I actually don't know. Singer Turner is Tina. That was the one I knew. And then Deuce... What is it? Deucey lead-in. It might be Deucey, but I don't know. Facts and figures is data. Or data, however you prefer. Long story...
Data.
I don't know. Chromosome carrier is a gene.
Oh, the long story is an epic, and we got it. Easy money.
Then the copycat is an aper, somehow. And the long... What is it? The Deucey lead-in is AC.
Yeah, AC. Yeah, makes sense, obviously. We got it. We made it.
We did another one.
We did another one. Is it like the 4th in a row that we won or something? Are we getting better at this
I'm not keeping count, but either... You said it something like that last time, though. Either we're getting better, or, as I said last time as well, these are getting easier. It's one of the two.
Maybe. I think you're getting better. You're definitely getting better, and though because you sold like the entire bottom right corner and stuff before I can even read it. So I think we're improving at this now.
I mean, to be fair, I do always read them out loud before I solve them, but I know that the connection also isn't perfect and everything. Right now,
I think we're getting better at these. We're gonna try to keep going like this. I mean, they're adding ones. So.
As you said, I'm definitely getting better at these when it's like the word association ones, where it's not about knowledge really, but just about like, in theory, it's about vocabulary. But my issue usually is just actually coming up with a connection.
The spelling is the big issue.
Yeah, okay, that too. But also sometimes it's just like, oh, like how do they actually get there, right? Like like this like synonym ones and stuff. I used to struggle with a lot more.
Yeah, but I mean this also helps. Right? This is like sort of this is a brain workout to get better at that stuff too.
Yeah. So the takeaway is we can recommend crosswords.
Crosswords. You cross some words and you get really good at it. That's why everyone's grandma who doesn't even understand how to open a browser is phenomenal at crosswords. Because they do it a lot.
Yeah.
And you know exactly what I mean.
And they probably know a lot of like that like somewhat random knowledge that like regular crosswords ask you about like.
Yeah, and like, also all of the old school words which were used when they were kids.
Yeah, like, and there's a lot of people, and the crosswords I've known like in like newspapers and like in like those crossword like, magazines, there are a lot of things. It's just like places, people, and all that stuff, and like that's where I tend to struggle with a lot more. And these that we've been doing so far seem to be, I want to say, almost a little more balanced. They do a lot of different things.
Yeah, we might be able to find some theme ones also, but these are good, so we're gonna keep doing those. They're good. Actually, as a challenge, why not? Since we do these in order, before we start the podcast, before you watch that segment of the podcast, do the crossword yourself. See how much you can do. See in what time you get them, and see if you can beat us. How about that? Maybe just play along. Get some brain training.
Here's the cool thing, right? If you don't remember which one we're at, very simple. Just watch the podcast until we do the quiz. I usually start it on the playlist page and just like do it right before we do it.
Yeah. Because we don't look at the actual podcast screen, at the actual crossword screen before we start anyway, because we don't want to see any previous information to gain more time, essentially.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that. That's a good idea. Let's hop into the second topic, and we also going to repeat something we did a while ago, and that is abbreviation meaning quiz. This is fun, and this is also interactive, so you can definitely play along for yourself at home. The idea is we'll get an abbreviation. We're limiting it to 3 letters, and it's a random one. We don't pick the abbreviation by its meaning, but we just make one up, and then we guess what it stands for. Now this time it's JJ's turn to make some up. I'm going to guess what they stand for. We're going to look up what they stand for and see if I'm right. So, JJ, do you have an idea what you want to start
Before we start the podcast, I typed one into Google just to see how good the results will be for a random abbreviation.
Right.
And I think we're just going to start with that. And because
it's like NBA or something?
Because it's a bit of a juicy one. No, it's one that I didn't know what it could possibly stand for.
All
and now I do.
What is it? What is it?
GJK.
GJK.
Yes.
Wow. All right. There's no vowels there.
That is correct.
What could it stand for? Let's think. So K doesn't show up too much in the English language. At start of word.
That is true, which is interesting actually because the Germanic language, and German does it a lot more. Like German starts most of their words with K, where English starts them with C. Like the words where it could be either. I mean, specifically, of course.
Yeah, all the same origin, by the way. It's just Right, I'm gonna say it's something about Georgia for sure. Oftentimes the first letter is placed, so I'm gonna go Georgia. Why not? And then JK.
We all know what that stands for.
Yeah, it was GCG. I would have gone. That was my first thing, Georgia Junior College. But it must be very, very junior if they spell college with a K. So something about Georgia Juniors and then K. So there's not that many. I don't know. Is anything correct? Is it Georgia by any chance?
No, it's like the thing is you are never gonna get this is the problem, but it was an interesting one. What?
Maybe is it general? Is the first word general?
No.
That always happens a lot at least.
The problem is very simple. You're not gonna get it because it's just names. It's the Gilbert Johnson Curthy distance algorithm, which is a method of determining the minimum distance between two convex sets.
All right.
I would be significantly more impressive.
Usually, I always expect it to be a company name or a place name at all times.
The thing is, like, I literally just typed 3 letters in that I thought like were a little strange because I didn't want to think of something that accidentally I knew subconsciously. Yeah. So, but from now on, well, I kind of did there as well. I'm gonna say the abbreviation, then type it into Google, so I don't actually know if it's anything particularly good or not before I say it.
Let's do it. Let's say it.
Let me have a look at my keyboard. What would be a fun letter combination? How else would I do it? Well, I could do it otherwise. Let's go with T, D, and P.
Touchdown percentage. I don't care what comes up, but that's totally what it is.
What? What is it?
Touchdown percentage.
I mean, fair enough, I suppose. Apparently, do you want to have another guess or?
I can think about it. Yeah, but touchdown percentage. That's the rate at which you like your total catches to total touchdowns ratio.
Yeah, but like the entire first page of Google is about one specific meaning of this, and it's not.
Okay,
that.
so it's not surprising. So it's a big thing.
Yes.
So maybe the T could stand for trade.
What? The
T could stand for trade.
Could. Was it like a question or
no, it could. That's just it was both.
Just regular musings.
Both. I'm stating it. It could stand for trade. The G, the P could stand. Well, let me get a full guess. So TDP. Let's go for Tennessee District Policy. I don't know. That's not it.
It is actually
too local, too specific.
Believe it or not, it's thermal design power.
Okay. Still not
sometimes also name. Referred to as thermal design point. But who cares about the difference?
Really? That's the one for TDP, huh?
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
Let me quickly recheck something. Yeah. All right. What else could I come up with? How about VRN?
VRN. Virtual reality network. Virtual reality network.
That would make a lot of sense. Now, I actually specifically, because I realized I hadn't done it before, I'm currently in because I didn't want search history affecting this, not that I expected it to do much, I put a private window.
Right.
So it, per default, had set my search location to be local. So I changed it to United States to be like, most of our audience would expect, and the most interesting results.
English speaking.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I changed it, and then I typed in VRN and hit enter right after I changed it. And the first result by far is Verkehrsbund Rhein-Neckar.
Wow, that's German, by the way. And that's probably less searched for than a virtual reality network, honestly.
Like, second page is Get VRN, Microsoft Store. What is this? Oh, it's still about the company.
Exact thing?
It is the company
app, great.
Apparently, or something. I don't
know.
That
would be fantastic.
Vehicle registration number.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like the entire first page is just also Verona. Like there is direct flights from Verona in parentheses VRN. It's just the
place name. We got it. But come on, I mean, virtual reality network seems almost plausible, right?
Yeah, so the Wikipedia disambiguation page says VRN may refer to the IATA airport code for Verona. We knew that.
Yeah.
The ICAO airline code for Varick, Brazil. It can mean video-rich navigation, which doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, it's a red link. Vehicle registration number. Verkehrsbund Rhein-Neckar. And valued receiving node, which also has a red link, so no Wikipedia article.
I think vehicle registration number is the best.
But somehow, that's probably... on English Wikipedia and on search location United States Google, still Verkehrsbund Rhein-Neckar.
I somehow doubt that that's accurate. That you know what, you gotta retry it later. Turn on the VPN because you know how Google is, right? They don't give a shit about privacy.
But
so there's
again,
definitely
Wikipedia on its disambiguation page still lists it in the English Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's still listed.
It's still very big either way.
Would be surprising to me.
But that did surprise me a little bit.
I think vehicle registration numbers. I got one for you, JJ, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
How about EBT?
EBT.
Yes.
Oh God. That. I'm trying to think of I'm trying to work this backwards almost because I'm trying to think what obviously you said the first one could often stand for a location, which makes sense, but I'm trying to think what T could stand for. So then to build on that, because I have B is a bit of a strange letter. It's not that uncommon, but I think it's one of the less.
So the reason I picked this is because I know something that means this that is very commonly used, but I'm just curious to see if it's actually the first search result.
But you still want me to guess first, I suppose, right?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Because the B could always stand for by. That happens sometimes because it's like P some stands for per or something. But then if it's by, it would have to be something related to like a sorting or something. So there would have to be a T that's like some kind of quantifier. Because you got countries by population sort of a thing, but God, I'm not good at this. I you know what, I'm just gonna look
it up. So what I suppose it should be is earnings before taxes or earnings before taxation.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
That is an economic term that's used in bookkeeping and stuff.
So the first suggestion is electronic benefit transfer.
Okay.
And then what is EBT? Google says electronic benefit transfer as well. And yeah, it's all about that.
All right. Because that's the concept, you can extend to like EBIT, which is earnings before interest and taxation, and so on. There's more.
Earnings before interest and taxes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That is like so right away the first result all around.
But EBT was too vague then.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Right.
Yeah. The thing is, like, interesting enough, the B almost seems like it would always stand for like more of like a connecting word, less than just like a thing, right? Like often it's like
I think
it's like an agency or something in the middle there or something, or like. But like B more seems Bureau. Like the connective words, like by, before.
Yeah.
Well, but would be strange in an abbreviation, but you know.
Enlightened but Texas.
I mean, yeah, something like that would work. It doesn't have to be specifically that, but
no. All right, give me another one. Let's go. Let's try to go ahead. Maybe one that you know, but I might not.
One that I know. We did that at one point as well before. I have to think, because obviously I would have to think about something that you wouldn't necessarily know. Oh yeah, do you know what MAC stands for? MAC? We might have talked about that before.
Yeah, we talked about this before, yeah.
Though, of course, if I look it up, it's just going to come up with Apple computers, so that's not...
Yeah, I think we actually did it on the last video, didn't we?
I might have, I'm not sure. But then you should know it.
I should if I remember it, yeah. I don't know if I remember it, honestly.
Oh, dude, there's mostly two things that Google suggests as autocompletes if I type a Mac abbreviation, actually.
MacBook, Mac OS?
No. If I type Mac and the word abbreviation, it actually suggests like medical anesthesia in medicine, and then it's like computer in networking, and then it's like pharmacy again. And then it's Apple, and then it's business, and then it's medical.
Does it suggest McDonald's and assume you misspelled?
No. But again, I typed literally the word Mac and then the word abbreviation, because if I just type Mac, okay, now it has abbreviation, but probably because I just typed it.
Yeah.
Meaning abbreviation medical, Macy's, Macedonia, Macintosh. Oh, right.
Which is now called North Macedonia. It's no longer Macedonia.
Well,
the country is now called North Macedonia, no longer Macedonia.
So I assume you do not know what it stands for in...
no, I don't think I remember. I'll remember it.
It is Media Access Control.
Alright, yeah, we've talked about it, yeah.
Is a unique number that your network card or mainboard has that can identify it, in theory, more uniquely than IP, though you can technically overwrite them as well.
I know what a MAC address is, how it works, but I didn't remember what it is.
Oh, by the way, speaking of IP, just as a side note, do you know what IP stands for?
Probably proxy. Is it internet proxy or something?
It's internet protocol.
Protocol. Okay, cool. Yeah, makes sense.
Actually, no, I mentioned that one as well on the podcast before. That's not that good. Let's see if I can think of something else that you...
XFL.
It doesn't actually stand for anything, it turns out.
Extreme Football League.
Though Oliver Luck said that it's a little implied that the FL stands for Football League.
It's implied. Slightly implied. Got something else?
What were we saying?
Do you have something else?
I'm trying to come up with something, because the problem is whenever you try to think of like just abbreviations, like a lot of the like very common.
You always try to think which one would make sense. Like, what should I go with here? Like, you always think one that you know, not just a random one that's made up.
Yeah, the ones I know is like, I basically almost initially think like right away you kind of gotta go with something IT related, or it's one of the more obvious ones to go with for sure. Because obviously you don't necessarily know as much about that, and it's like one of the fields where I would think I'd have rather deep knowledge that you don't. Actually, side note, I mean you probably do, but like IT, that's also an abbreviation.
Information technology. Technology, yeah.
It's just some people legitimately don't know it because it's used as an abbreviation so much.
Yeah, like it's like PR, right? You know what PR stands for?
Public relations.
Public relations, yeah. But a lot of people don't.
Which, by the way, now that I was talking about IT abbreviations that don't get used a lot, PC.
Personal computer. Or political correctness.
Well, yeah. And CD.
Compact disc.
Yes. Speaking of CDs, ROM. ROM.
I know that RAM is random access memory, but ROM?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Pro tip, there's also CD-ROMs, which is, I suppose, the same meaning.
So is it random orbiting memory?
No, it's read-only memory.
Read-only memory. See, those are words where pretty much only the abbreviation is ever used, and unless you study it, like with the EBIT too, like I mentioned, unless you study it, you have to learn it for something. You'll barely ever hear the actual thing, like with IP or Mac too.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing them up. Which actually reminds me, I just actually saw something in the suggestions.
Or JJ,
what?
For an example, right? Do you know exactly what the USSR stands for?
I do not. I mean, there's probably Soviet Republic in there.
Yeah, it's the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
Oh,
but
God.
you like when you don't hear, like, you know, that's the thing. Sometimes you wouldn't even get it. When you don't know, because you learn just the abbreviation. That's the case for a lot of things, actually.
Yeah. Do you know what DNS stands for?
I mean, I know it in two different ways, and I know that what the points are, but I don't know what it stands for now.
It's Domain Name System. At least that's what it is in IT. Which is
right.
You know what it is, right? It's when you type in like Google.com, like your computer sends a request to the DNS server, which then returns the IP address.
Exactly. There's a lot of those in tech, actually. I just as specifically as a field where you have the the abbreviations, but not the actual words.
Yeah. And that also is the first thing that comes up if you Google DNS. I just wanted to double check that.
NASA.
God, I'm trying to remember. Because I believe it's not what you think it is.
No. Not even close. Like I was like, oh, North American Space Agency. It's nothing like that.
No, it's like, isn't it like National Aeronautics and Space Authority or something stupid like that?
Something like that. That's more like it, yeah.
I think the first A is aeronautics. I'm not sure though. It's let's see. Oh, like the funny thing is, right? If you Google it, the first thing that just comes up is like NASA, federal agency. It doesn't even spell. Normally, when you Google an abbreviation, it has like the info box in Google.
Yeah.
It'll actually. Well, I should have probably shown.
It'll define it at least.
It usually has the name, but this time you actually have to read the description. It's the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That's what it was.
Administration, yeah.
The last word I got wrong. Though I knew it was wrong, I just wasn't sure what exactly.
Don't nobody remember that, right? You know the FBI?
FBI is the Federal Bureau of Intelligence. Though on their crest it says, what does it say? Fidelity.
Is it intelligence?
What?
Is it intelligence, actually?
Federal Bureau of Investigations, I believe. I don't know.
You said intelligence.
Did I say intelligence?
No, yeah. You said intelligence, but I thought it was investigations, too.
Yeah, sorry. I might have intended.
It's investigation, yeah.
It's investigation, yeah. Did I say intelligence? I might have been getting
that. Yeah, it's intelligence.
Although on the crest it says, actually now that I have pulled it up, that one it doesn't, but I've seen pictures where it says, some of the virtues. It's like, I don't even remember what exactly it is. The I was integrity, though. I don't remember the exact. Yeah, no.
The I in FBI does not stand for it.
No, not actually, but I've seen like an FBI crest where they had just like some virtues in there which were FBI that spelled that out. I'm not sure if that's something that's actually used or something they're just using movies sometimes. I don't know.
Of course. Why not?
Which obviously.
By the way, for all the memers who are talking about, oh, my FBI agent is watching me watch my internet history and stuff, that's not what they do. That's not what the FBI does at all.
It sounds
that's
like
your
an
NSA agent. Yeah, that's you got to thank your NSA agent.
The National Security Agency.
I think it should stand for the National Spy Agency. Actually, it should be the I. Right? Should be the INSA because, of course, they do it worldwide.
Well, I mean, technically, for outside of the U.S., the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, would be responsible for that.
Well, but you know that all governments pretty much conspire to have that go everywhere, right? Like, Five Eyes and stuff.
My point was just and while technically we're there, they have an agency for that.
Might as well change the A and N in INSA to assholes, and you're pretty much there. That works. Also, yeah, they're at the INSA now. All right, do we have something else?
Not right offhand. If you have something interesting,
give me MOFE, or actually just tell me what it stands for.
MOFE.
D. Come on. Yes, that's your username. For God's sakes.
Yes. That is a bit of a story, really.
Okay.
No, it's not that long.
Let's close out the podcast with a story. Sure, why not?
Okay. It is based on a nickname that I got in school at one point, which
JJ is the type of person, by the way, who received the nicknames not from his other compatriot students, but teachers.
Actually, that might have been the case.
Yeah.
The nickname originally was Master of Disaster because I was a bit of a chaotic person. I know disaster isn't the most fitting word, but you have to remember that it was given to me by Germans. So there's that. And then because I was very, very long and unwieldy, people were like, "Oh yeah, that's way too long. Like, what do we do?" And I was like, "I guess we like abbreviate it somehow." And it's like, and I was like, I guess it would be M off D because like. Off is such a short word, why abbreviate it? Which is also why I usually capitalize the M and the D and not the off.
Though MOD would be authoritative, like you're always mod.
Yeah. So that's why I also like the capitalization sometimes is the capital M and the capital D. And then it's just...
Because they capitalize it in German.
Yeah. And it was, well, it would also be if it was like a header or something, it would still be capitalized, but the off wouldn't. So it's M off D, and then just because of the saying it fast, people would just say Mofty. So that's how they pronounce it.
And the 98 was added in to be actually able to have an accessible username because MOFD was always taken.
Yeah, not always actually. I originally Mofty was my Skype username, and then when I created my Steam account, it wasn't available, and then I just did the thing that everyone did, and I just added my year of birth at the end, so that was that, and then, yeah.
Makes sense. 1898. Jeez, old. Facts. So that's where that came from. I don't have an abbreviation for anything. I always go by my full name.
Except for when you don't.
Except for when I don't, which is almost always when I go by some random name. But
like Mr. 49ers Ball.
Yes, and I mean that's not actually my legal name. Though I believe
you should totally change it.
Some real talk though, I believe that's exclusively my mother's fault. Because if it had been completely up to my dad, it might be. I don't know. Which would be cool, and I should change that, but I can't do it in Germany. I'm pretty sure the German authorities will not allow that. That's going to happen.
I think in America, Germany you actually have to almost. I'm not sure how it was exactly, but I think they're very strict with like fantasy names and stuff. Yeah, you have to. Like,
yeah, in America you can do pretty much anything because you just claim it's religious freedom, right? I'm gonna change my name to Adolf LOL Hitler because it's my religion that I made up, and they'd be like, all right.
Yeah, I think in America it's like I think the only thing you can't do is like brand names because copyright.
Yeah.
I think it's literally the only thing you can't do. And then
Did you know that the company Sky owns the word Sky?
Boy.
Yeah.
And I think in Germany, I want to say I might have heard at one point, although this is just total like me remembering something that I might have heard a while ago.
Yeah.
That there is literally like a list of names you can give your child in theory, although it's like rather long, of course. But
yeah,
I want to say there's like more of a finite list.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by it all. Like, but yeah, the developer, the game No Man's Sky, for example.
Yes.
During the development process, they had a lengthy core process going on because of their use of the word sky.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I have a recommendation for you, by the way, before we go. It's called it's a subreddit called r/late stage capitalism. It's a reference to late stage cancer, which has very similar effects to capitalism in that it kills people and is very annoying and malignant. But let's get out of this podcast with the song of the week. Yeah, let's do it. So JJ, what's the song of the week?
I just noticed that I didn't actually write one down, but that's not a problem because I can very quickly make one up, and I'll just
Just make it up an abbreviation.
What, an abbreviation?
No. TNT. No, don't do it.
I actually, you know what? Because you said it, I'm gonna use BYH by Hammerfall. And if you want, you can. I know I used the Hammerfall song last week, but it was the first abbreviation one I came up with.
Did you use that before?
Maybe, but if it's been a while.
What does it stand for? If you say, I definitely know.
The thing that's what I was gonna actually. I was gonna have you guess, but it stands for bang.
Right, let me guess, because I'm fairly certain you've used this before.
Did you literally just not hear me when I said it while you were doing this, or because I just said it? But no. Anyways.
Let me think for a second.
Okay, but technically the song
you've used this before.
The song actually is BYH. I mean, the other abbreviations I can come up with are SOS and TNT, so it's not particularly exciting.
Is it Bang Your Head or something?
Yes.
You've used it before. I'm fairly certain you've used it before.
That case, it's been like half a year, and I still don't care. Maybe. I'm just going to keep it.
I mean, my song of the week also, I'm fairly certain was used before. Actually, guess what it is. I'm certain it was used before, but not the same version.
Okay, because I was about to say I'm certain it's been used before. It's that just limited to 300 songs. It's
I'm pretty sure you use it.
I was about to say, if I've used it before, then I'm rather confident it's Zombie by Not the Cranberries, is it?
No, it's not Zombie. Though that version is much better. There's the Bad Wolves, right? So okay, backstory. We're gonna do this too. I hate the song Zombie by the Cranberries. It's one of the worst songs ever, and when it plays, I legitimately leave the room if I'm still there for some reason. I hate the song. And then once upon a time, a couple of weeks ago, by accident, I randomly auto-played on YouTube into that song by a band called The Bad Wolves. And that's a cover.
Actually, I believe the band is just called Bad Wolves.
Or Bad Wolves. The Bad Wolves, as in, the canine animals.
I'm just saying I don't think there's a "the" in the band name. Though that happens a lot.
That was the day that I realized that I don't hate the song, but I just hate the Cranberries, apparently. Because this is that version, Zombie by the Bad Wolves, is really good. And by the way, everyone, I recommend check it out. Everyone knows the original because it plays everywhere, and it's popular for some reason. It's god awful, I don't know why, but the Bad Wolves version is actually really good. It's a good song in that version. I'm going to just pretend like the original never happened, but no, that's not my song of the week. My song of the week is
that. While we're at it, the original singer for the song was supposed to sing a part in the cover, but she died literally the week they were to record it.
Yes, exactly. Which on one hand is tragic, but on the other hand, the song is better off for it. I mean, that's all I have to say.
So your song of the week is The Riddle, I suppose?
Yes, it's The Riddle by Thunderstone. Which is also arguably the best version of the riddle, even though the Nick Kershaw version is very good.
So I haven't listened to the Thunderstone version that much, but so far I think I still like the Kershaw version better by quite a bit.
By quite a bit even. So this is one I like the original, but this one I like even better. It's just a bit more hardcore.
I mean, there's a lot of songs like that though. I have songs like that as well. Like if you think about Behind Blue Eyes, right? It's like I like both versions, The Who and Limp Bizkit, but Limp Bizkit is by far the more iconic version almost because it's just more played. And
The Sound of Silence.
It's probably the better one. I don't like the cover of The Sound of Silence, though.
It's so much better than. Listen, Paul Simon is a top 3 songwriter of all time. Art Garfunkel was an actor in Catch-22 the movie. So no one can surpass these guys, right? Absolutely not. But the Disturbed version of Sound of Silence, as we're talking about covers, is a lot better than any Simon & Garfunkel version. Without any disrespect, it's much better.
I really don't like the Disturbed version of Sound of Silence, but you know what I do like?
What do you like?
The Disturbed version of Land of Confusion. As a matter of fact, I like that one better than the original.
I might have to listen to it then, because it might be like a zombie sort of effect, because I didn't like the original Land of Confusion by Genesis, so I'll have to go and maybe do that. There's also, who did that cover of House of the Rising Sun?
Was it Five Finger Death Punch, or was it?
It might have been, yeah.
I think it was. I
think it is, yeah. That's also at least as good as the original one. I like them both.
I don't like that one at all. Was it Five Finger Death Punch? Yeah. I almost feel like it might not have been. I'm not sure.
I have it on my phone. I can actually look it up. But yes, my song of the week is The Riddle by Thunderstone, Nick Kershaw cover. And if it's possible, we obviously will have played snippets of this song.
It's Five Finger Death Punch.
Of both of these songs when we mentioned them. If you didn't hear them, that means that our video got blocked and we had to cut them out. So go check them out yourself. But there's your songs of the week.
If that is the case, I will put an info card where we mentioned it the first time.
Exactly. Leave your song of the week in the comments, and let us know how you did in the crossword and the onions too. Like, did you beat JJ in the onion quiz? I doubt it. Seems very tough. Or did you get any of the abbreviations right? But thank you for watching. Again, apologies, the podcast was a day late, but it's better to have a Sunday podcast than to not have a podcast at all. And honestly, we're staying home all day, every day. Like, who can even tell a Saturday from a Sunday at this point? Honestly, right? it's all the same at this point. I mean, I still have to work, but other than that, it's a lot of people can't tell holidays apart anymore. So, yeah, thank you for watching, though. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next one. And JJ.
That's it.
That's it.